Jet. Initiate the gambling. Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Friday. Welcome to your Friday stream. Welcome to the Friday show. Apologies on being a little bit late. Yo, I'm going to be... Oh, God. God damn it. Oh, God. Oh, God. God damn it. Should I talk about it? Should I... Fuck, man. I just had guys. Look, there's a lot of good stuff. There's fun stuff that we're gonna talk about today. There's things, okay? There's things, but I just got the wind taken out of my sails in a big way, and I don't even know if I want to talk about it. But it has to do with Marrok. And oh my God. Oh no. It's like... Why? Why Star Wars gotta do it? Why Star Wars gotta Star Wars? What the... Okay, anyway. Oh God, no! Oh God, no! Yeah, so maybe we'll talk about that in a second. Anyways, welcome to the stream, welcome to the show, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for another fun-filled adventure of a stream where we're going to talk about various things. There's the Marvel's new trailer that came out yesterday. We gotta talk about that. There's Doctor Doom rumors. Actually kind of cool. I'm excited to talk about that, so that's pretty cool. There are rumors about the cast for the Authority. When it comes to James Gunn stuff and the DC stuff and all that, which is kind of fun. I want to talk a little bit about Star Wars. And if Star Wars is okay, because... I don't think it is, basically. And I want to talk about like what's going on. It's such a weird thing to enjoy Ahsoka the way that I do, and to also sit back and kind of be aware of how Ahsoka is doing. And I don't know. What do you guys make of that? Do you think Ahsoka is absolutely crushing it, or do you think that Ahsoka has a tough hill to climb, essentially, to kind of get Star Wars fans to embrace it? I'm not really sure. I thought after the first week it had a really nice pop on social media. I thought I saw a lot of videos performing very well for Ahsoka. But in week 3, just talking to some of my colleagues in the YouTube space and just kind of looking out at numbers and watching it trend. I mean, yesterday, as an example, guys, and I know anime and especially One Piece itself is such a massive brand. It is such a big brand that it was inevitably going to pull some really, really big numbers. But guys, like, I think after the Ahsoka episode, the trending that I saw for the show, I think it dipped close to like 100K at one point. That was the sort of height of the impressions on YouTube and how that was all going. And I didn't really see that in this week 3. And then, like, yesterday, just as an example, just to kind of show you what the thing is, the One Piece live action show was trending to 250,000 plus mentions on Twitter before it even came out. You know what I mean? And so it's just kind of a wild time right now. I feel good about the show as a fan, and there's a lot of stuff that I really like about the show. Frankly, guys, I was thinking about doing this whole stream kind of titled Star Wars is Fighting for Its Life, because there's so much to this. It's not just that the show, like, I feel like there's something weird happening right now with Star Wars where I understand a lot of the criticisms leveled against Ahsoka. But some of the criticisms, not all of it, but some of the criticisms feel like a criticism of Star Wars itself, which is weird. And I feel like there's this weird thing going on where we're not realizing that certain aspects of Star Wars that weren't necessarily always like the upper echelon of what you would consider like dialogue, even writing to a degree. These things have never been a part of Star Wars. You know, Star Wars that's not what it is. It's like a mythical pop adventure thing, you know? Like you've got lines in the OT, like you read some of those lines from the OT, read some of the lines from the prequel, like what are we talking about here? You know what I mean? Like that's Star Wars. And we're at this really weird place where Star Wars is having an identity crisis of sorts. And I'm seeing some of the criticism for not only Ahsoka, but just like the Filoni-verse feels so odd to me because it's like people are criticizing Star Wars for being Star Wars. You know what I mean? And I don't know what to do with that because I feel like that's really bad. It's the making, it's the doing of Lucasfilm. Like it's their own fault for kind of being in this situation. But man, what a wild time to be a fan. And like I said, I still think we have plenty of fire episodes. I think the show's going to be really dope. But I also believe it is possible. Like if this show, like, man, I'm getting stuck on it. And we should just get into the other news. But here's the last point on it. I'll try to put a pin in this. Then we'll do show notes. And then we'll get into this stuff. Okay. Here's the last thing. The last thing that I kind of want to say on this. It is absolutely possible. This is my favorite Star Wars show. It is absolutely possible that this could be like exactly what I want from Star Wars. And it could fail. And it could not be what other fans want. And I'm like, whoa, like that is a weird place to be in when it comes to Star Wars. So just kind of want to mention that. And then I don't know, maybe if you guys pressure me enough, I could talk about the Marrok thing. I want to talk about that probably in its own video because it is incredibly spoilery and rage-inducing. You know what I mean? So you know, like I said, maybe we'll do that into a video. If enough of you guys pressure me about it, maybe we'll talk about it in this stream. Okay, now, show notes. What's going on this weekend? Well, of course, first of all, I got to plug Unity because one of the coolest things we have going on right now. Let me just open this up right here. 19 days to go. We're about at 35,000. So we got 19 days to raise 15 grand. And I think we're going to do it. You know what I mean? We only have 331 backers right now. I'd love to get that up over 1,000 as well. So go check out Unity on Kickstarter if you have not yet. We're also doing, of course, where's it at? Where's he at? It's not a doll. This here action figure for the Unity comic book. If you back it by next Wednesday, you're automatically entered to win this. And I'm going to paint it by hand. Oh, and also check this out. That's a smaller one. Now there are two of them. It's getting out of hand. Now there are two of them. I'm actually going to practice the painting on this one over the weekend. I actually really like this one. I think it's like at a 75 millimeter model, which is like what a lot of model painters, not doll painters, you mother truckers. A lot of them paint at this scale because some of the like finer details they can really get to pop. So I'm going to paint up the smaller one this weekend to practice. And then I'll paint this one up by hand. And we'll send it out to somebody. So, go back to Kickstarter. I really appreciate all the support we've had so far. I have a lot of like promoting to do, a lot of cool stuff to do with regards to the book. So, you'll see more of that over time. But, yeah, I always like to mention it on the streams, man. I really appreciate the support so far, guys. And if you have not yet, consider checking Unity out today. What else is going on? No Saturday morning cartoons this weekend. No Diamond Lounge. We're actually going to a friend's birthday party. His son is turning 3. We're going to a birthday party tomorrow at the zoo. I'm actually pretty excited about it. It's gonna be cool, and I want to see. I want to see how Liam interacts with like all the animals and stuff like that. It's gonna be really fun. So gonna be doing that, and then on Sunday I'm gonna be on a stream with Valiant Renegade, okay, who does some really good work, a lot of good sort of breaking down of more of the numbers situation with what's going on with Disney. And my God, is there a lot going on with Disney. So Sunday should be a good stream, man. You know, talked to him a little bit this morning. We're going to talk about the state of things. I think we agree on a lot of things. I think there's some things we don't agree on. So if you're not doing anything on Sunday, come on by for that. We'll be going, I think, at 6 p.m. on his channel. So that should be cool. And then I think that's probably it when it comes to show notes. Is there anything else I'm missing, guys? Is there anything else I'm missing? How much money for the Marrok spoilers? Oh, Jesus. Here's the problem with the Marrok spoilers. If I go into the Marrok spoilers, I'm going to be kind of triggered. And I feel like it might hurt the vibe. A little bit. Like, I don't know. Hey. You know, like, oh my God. All right. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Throw it. All right. Okay. Here we go. Jeez. Okay. Slight spoiler. Maybe potentially a spoiler warning here. Watch somebody. Here's what's going to happen. Somebody's going to come into the stream right as I'm saying it. And they're going to be like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, the what? But here's the thing. Let me explain. I don't know this to be 100% true, okay? I don't even know how much I want to say about how I was tipped off to this, okay? So let's just say, let me put it like this. The reason I'm so pissed is because I think this shit's real. The reason I'm so upset is because I think this is real, but it's unconfirmed. We're going to find out together. Take it with a massive grain of salt. Maybe it's wrong. Please, for the love of Jeebus, let this be wrong. Okay, so spoiler warning. Somebody got it in chat already. It's kind of interesting. Okay. So technically this is out there on Reddit. There are some people talking about this on Reddit, okay? And I didn't want to believe it because I'm really stuck on my my Star Killer thing, which would have been awesome, okay? Oh, look, you've seen the videos. I've talked about the Star Killer thing. Why not? Why not bring them in? Why not bring them in? Why not go into the new galaxy? Why not give them a bunch of dope new powers and bring Star Killer back into it, okay? So let me just ask you this. What do you think would be the worst reveal possible? You tell me, chat. What would be the worst reveal possible? I can't believe we're doing this. Here we go. What would be the worst one possible? Kanan. Yeah, that'd be pretty bad. Dark Luke would be bad. Reva would be bad. Ezra would be bad. Yes. Han Solo would also be bad. Yes. Okay, you've all picked some pretty good stuff. So, what if I told you it's worse than anything you mentioned? What if he's literally just a bunch of smoke? No, Dave, no! Ah! Okay. So do you remember in Tales of the Jedi when Ahsoka cuts down that Inquisitor and he basically deflates like a balloon? Yeah. So let's just say, hypothetically, what if what Marrok is some kind of resurrected, kept together by magic smoke monster thing? I don't fucking know. I mean, it reminds me a little bit of the Thousand Suns in Warhammer. In Warhammer, the Thousand Suns become cursed. It's like this chapter of Space Marines. They become cursed. And so they're literally like inside their armor is nothing. It's smoke and dust. And that's all they are. Yeah. So talk about the stupidest, dumbest. Yeah. So I don't know, like, dude, I really hope this shit isn't true, by the way. Because, like, imagine buying a Marrok action figure. Which, by the way, I was, like, this close to doing. You know what I mean? Imagine buying the action figure. Imagine getting excited about this character. He's literally a fart in the wind, yeah. And I gotta tell you, like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what the fuck? Like, we're supposed to, like, what's gonna happen next week? Ahsoka's gonna cut him down and he's gonna deflate again? And we're all just gonna be like, oh, cool. Dope. God damn it, Dave. Anyway, on a more positive note, at the end of this stream, I do finally have the big theory video about how the Purrgil are really scout ships of the Yuuzhan Vong, and that absolutely incredible theory will drop at the end of this stream. I'll send you guys over to watch the video on the main channel. It's really dope. Share it out because it could still be absolutely awesome. And I'll tell you this, if Dave does that theory, if that's what he's cooking, which I think it actually is, then I will forgive the smoke monster bullshit Marrok tease right in front of our fucking faces. But I'm still not going to like it. I don't have to like it, but I could accept it if we actually get some really good stuff coming after that. Oh my God, bro. Like, I'm just like, that is silly. You know? That is silly. So, anyways, okay, let's get into some other stuff. Guys, the Marvels had a trailer yesterday. What did you guys make of that trailer? What did you guys think of that trailer? Okay. Here's the thing. This trailer is actually a good trailer. Like, I'll keep it a buck. I'll keep it 100. I'll keep it a stack. It's a good trailer. I think it's effective. I think it's maybe the most effective trailer they've done so far. They probably should have led with this trailer, to be honest with you. I feel like... Here's what I find is so weird about it, right? The movie itself was sort of forged into a film that brought in these other actresses like Kamala, brought in, the Monica Rambeau or Rambooty, respectfully, characters. And the reason they did this is because, like, dude, people just not met, like, they don't like Brie Larson like that. You know? And so the movie's obviously leveraging more than Captain Marvel. You know what I mean? And I felt like some of the first trailers were not like making that obvious. They were still kind of like going through the lensing of, Captain Marvel, et cetera, et cetera. And so I felt like this trailer was effective in the sense that it sets up the other characters. I think it's very fun. It's a good, effective trailer. But man, they released this on a... what time did they release this shit? Like, they released this at 12 on Thursday, and I mean, it did nothing. You know what I mean? And I'm really interested in how this movie performs. I think Marvel is terrified. If I'm being completely honest with you, I think Marvel is terrified of what this movie could do for them, because Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was huge for them. Big success, one of the most profitable, or one of the biggest movies of the entire year, right? Very big. And I think it proves a lot. Like, it's a win that deserves not only like cheering, but also like reverse engineering and trying to figure out what's going on there. And I think it's a really good sign, But I'm working on a Marvel video right now, and one of the things I mentioned in the video is like, guys, despite Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Phase 5 has had two of the most widely rejected by audience Marvel projects ever. Quantumania was one of the most rejected Marvel movies ever. That movie was so bad and underperformed in such significant ways that it caused huge ramifications. I mean, that's what gets rid of Victoria Alonso. That's probably what got rid of Jeff Loveness. That movie probably got, if the rumors are true, that Michael Waldron was fired. If that's true, that's probably because of Quantumania. That shit's so bad, they fired Jeff's friend. They were like, no, get out of here. Secret Invasion, so rejected. I mean, 4 of the worst Rotten Tomatoes scores ever for Marvel Studios streaming shows are 4 of the episodes of that show. It had 6 episodes. Let me say that in a different way. There were only 2 episodes of Secret Invasion that aren't in the lowest of low tiers for critical response in the history of anything Marvel has made. So, it's bad, right? And, so Phase 5, you think about Phase 5, you think about this year for Marvel Studios. I mean, if you take Guardians 3 out of the equation, I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Maybe the worst year ever for Marvel Studios? Would you agree or disagree? So far, worst year ever for Marvel Studios if you take Guardians out of there. I can't believe I'm saying this, but let's talk about Star Wars. Yeah, but we got to take our medicine here. That's the thing. We got to take our medicine. We don't want to bury our heads in the sand. Let's talk about what's really going on, okay? So from Marvel's perspective, right, I think they're really nervous about the Marvels, and they should be. I mean, given everything that's going on, I'd be nervous about almost any movie, but they clearly know they have something fire with Deadpool 3. We know it. They know it. It's obvious. It's got everything you want from a Marvel movie. Deadpool 3 seems like the winning formula, but we've got to get past the sort of minefield of Echo and the Marvels. A little 1-2 punch of like, what the fuck? Okay? Now, here's the thing. This movie did actually get some good news when like Dune 2 moved, and I think there were other movies that moved as well, right? Off of the calendar later this year. So now the Marvels has kind of more of a wide berth, and that could absolutely matter. Like that could make a big difference. Because I personally just, you know, if you look at the views of this trailer yesterday and the fact that it like, I don't know how else to say this. It's the best trailer they've done for this movie, but it can't outpace the negative narrative for this film and the fan fatigue and where everybody's at with Marvel. You know what I'm saying? Like, the marketing can no longer outpace how the general audience in the fandom feels about Marvel Studios right now, and the Marvels in particular. Now, there will be a ton of people that go check this movie out. I mean, I'm one of them. Here's what's so ironic, right? I'm saying all of this. I'm going to be there day one. I'm going to be there day one as early as I possibly can to check the movie out. And I'm going to give it its fair shake. You know what I mean? They cut it down to like an hour and a half. I think it's one of the shortest Marvel movies ever. And My Time to Shine Hello said they streamlined it. It could be a disaster. But at the end of the day, they're kind of just trying to like get people in and out, I feel. So I think even in a worst case scenario for the Marvels would probably be like 400, 500, 600 million worldwide. The thing that's interesting is like with the competition getting out of the way and perhaps this movie getting more IMAX screens or something like that, it'll be interesting to see if like, does it pick up another 100 million? Because like if this thing goes over 700 million, I think Marvel Studios can be like, whoosh, and like, you know, breathe a sigh of relief, because I think that's right in that pocket of like, yes, it is underperforming, probably barely making its budget back, but it's not a disaster. You know what I mean? If this movie makes less than 5, I think it'll be, you know, it'll be kind of paraded around and shamed. If it makes less than 4, it's a disaster. You know? And like one of my biggest problems with Marvel right now, and like this is something like, you know, this is something I want to ask Valiant Renegade on Sunday, is like, as a fan who loves Marvel, who loves Star Wars, but like has no love for Disney and strongly feels that Disney is the problem. I mean, does anybody else not like, is there anybody out there that doesn't think Disney's the problem here? Because they are. What hope do fans like myself have? What hope do fans that still want to cheer this stuff on, that still want to enjoy this stuff, what hope do we actually have? How could this shake out in a more positive way? The problem with Marvel is they've got fire. They've got such good ideas. They got so many cool things coming. But they're going to sit there and make us eat this middies and make us ingest this stuff that's just really not good. And I feel like that is the most dangerous thing going on with Marvel, right? Like, the more we just ingest this stuff that's like whatever, and for some people it's not even whatever, it's actually turning people off. Like Secret Invasion kind of blew my mind, the way that people reacted to it, because to me I'm like, yeah, no, it's not good, but it's not like so bad that I'm, you know, I'm not turning because of that show. Like that show's just your regularly scheduled filler that's mid as fuck. But for some people, they're like, yo, like, that is a turning point. That has definitely affected me as a fan, et cetera, et cetera. So, it is a scary time for Marvel fans. And I tell you, this trailer coming out the way that it did, and I mean, like, does anybody think I'm wrong? Does anybody think this trailer trended? Does anybody think this trailer was talked about? This is going to improve things for the film? Because I really don't see it, man. What, are we glitching here? What's the deal? Stuff looks good on my end. Stuff looks good on my end. Quantum Mania and She-Hulk were the final straws. Oh, boy. The reason I knew the trailer was from you. Oh, boy. Didn't even know it came out. Yeah, dude, like, it did nothing. Like, in my opinion, this thing didn't do anything. It's like, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Let's check it out. I don't even know if I want to check it out, to be honest with you. Like, again, I think it's a decent trailer. I think it's a good trailer, actually, for what it is. Let's see, it's 2 minutes. Man. Yeah, it's just tough. Like, I think, and like I said, not all hope is lost. This video that we're working on, which David is editing right now, and I'm going to probably end up releasing it on Sunday, guys, like in the afternoon. I'm going to do a very big breakdown because there is movement behind the scenes at Marvel. Marvel is changing things. They're trying to adjust. And so it's like funny, and this is a good way to transition into the Doctor Doom rumors, okay? Starfield is so damn good. I played a bunch of Baldur's Gate 3 last night, and I had a great time. I still haven't, like, I've been so busy over the past month. I haven't really even been able to play Baldur's Gate 3. But last night we did a really fun session. It was really cool. So I had a lot of fun playing that. I want to play Armored Core 6. I want to play Starfield, but I'm, like, not ready to get another game right now. Like, it's just crazy. There's so much going on. Gaming's killing it right now. So there's a lot of rumors going on right now, and the scoopers and the, insiders and everything, I feel like they're really frustrated and like kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel because there's no news, right? But ironically, when it comes to Marvel, I actually think there is news. But here's where it gets weird, okay? So we have a writer's strike and the Screen Actors Guild strike going on right now, right? But everybody knows Marvel doesn't write scripts like that. Marvel comes up with some key moments, some key sequences, some fun things they need to be in the movie to set up their future stuff. And then they hand all that shit to a writer, and the writer has to make sense of it. So, ironically, Marvel's actually in this incredible position because they get to, like, fix all their shit, or potentially they have the chance to fix their stuff, via those idea boards. And the scoopers probably know this, and the scoopers are still probably privy to how this stuff is moving, but they don't want to report it because they don't want to tell the truth. And the truth is that Marvel, other than James Gunn and the way that he makes the Marvel movies, which isn't going to happen anymore, they don't really write scripts, man. You know what I mean? I don't know what to tell you. They don't write fucking scripts. Like, I don't know, like, what? Yeah. And by the way, I don't care, frankly, because a lot of the stuff that was in phases 1, 2, and 3 is absolutely phenomenal. And they did not even have a finished script when they started making Iron Man 1. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care that that's how they do it. I really don't. But there's this weird thing going on where I don't think Marvel wants you to know that that's what they're doing. And I feel like the scoopers and whatnot, they don't want to reveal that, like, oh yeah, Marvel's cooking. Like, they are absolutely cooking right now. And perhaps changing some things and adjusting some things and getting stuff more fine-tuned for where we're going to go. Having said that, I'm dropping that in a big video on Sunday because some of this stuff's really cool. Some of it's questionable, but I think there's actually a good chance that they figure it out. We just have to survive the minefield of, like, the next 4 to 5 months. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where we're at. Now, let's shift into the Doctor Doom news. Okay. This is coming from Jeff Snyder on the Hot Mic podcast, and they're talking about Josh Hartnett as Doctor Doom. I actually have not watched this portion of the actual stream, but let's watch it together. And then they also talk about the Authority as well, which is pretty cool. So let's see what the boys had to say about Josh Hartnett as Doctor Doom, which, by the way, chat, what do you think? Just off the rip. You think it's good? You think it's bad? You like it? You hate it? Let me know.
That I saw today. It was a Fantastic Four one.
Ooh.
Josh Hartnett for Doctor Doom.
Oh, yeah, I know. You'd mentioned that a few weeks ago that it was
possible.
You mentioned that they were looking at Josh Hartnett for something.
I thought I said that we should look at him after like Oppenheimer.
And that's maybe what you said. Yeah.
I don't know if I'd actually said that they were looking at him, but I think it was Giant Freaking Robot that said that he may have been offered Doctor Doom.
That's nice.
Again, Doctor Doom is going to be a very small role in Fantastic Four. I think you'll maybe see him at the end or in a post-credit sequence, but
yeah,
I'd be okay with that. I mean, I like the Hartnett assance that we're about to experience.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. All right, let's keep going on these.
Okay, so not too much there, right? Not too much there. And it could be BS, of course, because, when it comes to Fantastic Four, like, this whole thing's been kind of confusing. But if you've been following Jeff closely, some of the stuff that he's saying is like, for instance, he had the, remember he had the scoop about Jack Quaid, right? And he was like, oh, Jack Quaid is going to be maybe Johnny Storm or whatever, right? So then he, like, live on the stream, one of his sources reaches out to him and says, like, no, it's actually Joseph Quinn. And he's like, okay, so I got that wrong. But to me, I was like, well, how could you just get that wrong? Like, somebody just says JQ and you assume it's Jack Quaid. Why would you assume it's Jack Quaid? Well, interestingly, the next day, Grace Randolph says she has heard that Jack Quaid is in Fantastic Four. Okay? So, like, I think Jeff knows more than he's leading on. And I think he's just being careful with the way he talks about the, the information. What's the one guy's name that everybody thought was going to be Ben Grimm? He's got like a very strange name, like hyphenated at one point. Something Marrok or something like that. Y'all know who I'm talking about? So again, Jeff was like, oh, I think this guy could be the Thing. And then he's like, no, it's not going to be the Thing because they want a fat white guy as the Thing. Well, is it Barack Obama? Absolutely. Dude, perfect. Barack Obama as the Thing would be perfect. No, it's not Daveed Diggs. It's not Daveed Diggs. It's the guy. I think it's the guy that played Microchip in the Punisher, the Netflix Punisher thing. So yeah, that guy. So he could actually still end up being Ben Grimm. So like I said, there's a lot like kind of going, and it's like, well, how is this stuff happening, right? Like, we got a writer strike, we got an actor strike, et cetera, et cetera. Eben Moss Barack, that's the guy. That's the guy. Am I doing call-ins today? Yes, I'm planning on doing call-ins today. We should have time, yeah. So I say all that to say, like, okay, kind of interesting that a lot of the same stuff is popping up, and I think Marvel is, like, the truth of the matter, when it comes to Joseph Quinn, right, just to kind of take a step back, Charles Murphy talked about, I think it was like a couple of days after Snyder broke his scoop, Charles Murphy was like, oh, I've seen actual concept art with Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, and from what I understand, it's all set, but he can't sign until the strikes are over, right? And so, like, some of this stuff appears to just kind of be going down low-key, kind of behind the scenes. And, who knows for sure. But I think this Josh Hartnett thing could actually be real. The only other person that we've heard seriously mentioned when it comes to Doctor Doom was Ryan Gosling. Okay? And to me, I feel like Ryan Gosling and Josh Hartnett are similar. Okay, not the same, and I actually prefer Josh to it, not just because his name is Josh, but I think that's a decent vibe. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think of Hartnett as Doctor Doom? And has he even been, like, what has Josh Hartnett even been in recently? You know what I mean? Because like I loved him in like Sin City. I thought he was great in Sin City. You prefer it because his name is Josh? You don't say that. Mariana, man, very generous $50 holla. I appreciate that. I will get into that in just a little bit here. I hear you. Just going over that. Oh, he's in Black Mirror? Okay, I didn't see that. He took a break from acting with his kids. Oh, that's cool. His Black Mirror episode is award-winning? Damn, okay. Oh, is he in Oppenheimer? Okay, cool. Still haven't seen Oppenheimer. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think he could be a good Doctor Doom. I guess the thing for me that's confusing about all of this is like, wait, are we doing like a reboot here? Or like, what's going on? Like, you're doing Doctor Doom right around the same time you're doing Secret Wars, but you're not going to have like Doctor Doom play a big part in Secret Wars? Like, that seems crazy to me. That seems like a big mistake. But yeah, could be cool. Okay, so here's something interesting. Let's shift gears. Let's talk a little bit about DC. Let me bring this up here. From the same podcast, I do believe. And this scoop comes from Roka.
I heard something crazy, and here's what I'll say. According to this person, the source is only 60% right. So I'm going to throw this out there with that disclaimer. And as Jeff said, this is not, don't aggregate this. This is just for fun, us having conversation.
Yes.
But according to one of my sources, they are saying that the DC's The Authority is possibly cast with all the characters and actors that they're possibly looking at here. Jenny Sparks is Keira Knightley.
Keira Knightley is Jenny Sparks. Bro, okay. Y'all know how I feel about Mr. Gunn. Okay? We've got a history. And I don't like him. But he might be cooking if this is true, dude. Like, that would be incredible. Let's keep going.
Knightley is Jenny Sparks. Alexander Skarsgård is Apollo.
Get the fuck out of here. Alexander Skarsgård as Apollo? That would be fantastic. Holy shit.
Sam Worthington is Midnighter.
Sam Worthington as Midnighter? I would absolutely love that, dude. Sam Worthington has been trapped on Pandora for like 20 years. Get this man back in good mood. I like this dude, man. I think that would be incredible.
Kiki Palmer is playing the engineer. Riz Ahmed, the doctor.
Remind me of Riz Ahmed. Why can't I think of who Riz Ahmed is? And Kiki Palmer which one is Kiki Palmer playing?
Kiki Palmer is playing the engineer.
The engineer. I mean, that would be wild. She's like got all metallic body and stuff like that. I could kind of see that. Yeah. Who's Riz Ahmed from Nightcrawler? Oh, wait. He's a bad guy in Venom, isn't he? He's the villain in Bodhi Rook. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, let's keep going.
Riz Ahmed, the doctor, and Gerard Butler as Jack Hawksmoor, with the villain possibly being played by Ken Watanabe or Kaizen Gamora. So,
sounds phenomenal. It sounds too good to be true. But I do wonder, here's the thing that's kind of interesting about DC and James Gunn and everything right now. Look, Marvel is frankly going through it, and I think they've got, like I said, they got a lot of cool stuff, and I think it's going to be dope. But the genre itself is a little bit in danger here, and I do feel like we need good stuff at DC. Like, one of the things, if you don't have a really strong Marvel and DC, I feel like all comic stuff suffers. You know what I mean? And right at a time when Marvel is kind of floundering and feeling really weird, if DC were to come in and get like some serious star power like this and put out just some really good superhero movies, it would actually be good for the entire genre, right? So I'm, as much as like Gunn and I, you know, we have our differences and past beef or whatever, I'm not rooting for the dude to fail. You know, I think he's fucking up like left and right. I feel like a lot of stuff he's doing is out of pocket, but a lot of that kind of stuff is like promotion and leadership and like all these different things that, like, frankly, that's not his wheelhouse. Like, his wheelhouse, making good movies. You know what I mean? And I think James Gunn has made some really good movies. So this kind of stuff here would be like absolutely incredible. If like Gunn is approaching these people and like trying to vet them, because again, this is more than just them doing this role for this movie. This is them doing the role for the universe, right? So that's what it is. I really like this cast, man. Like, I think this cast is pretty lit, and I would be down to clown with this authority. What do you think, chat? Thoughts? Thoughts? Director Matthew Vaughn. That would be so cool, too. Yeah, that would be really cool. That could work. Sounds titties, bro. Yeah, it does sound pretty good, huh? Need Manchester Black. Well, he's not a part of the authority, though. What was his team called? Oh boy. People hit me up about the Marrok thing on Twitter. I'm just like, I don't wanna talk about it. Any new rumors of who would play Batman? No, I have no idea, man. Okay, a couple other things I want to just kind of speed run through, and then we're gonna get into Q&A. Then we'll do the call-ins after that. Okay. So I sat down and watched the first episode of the live-action One Piece animated show. And I gotta say, and I'll drop some coinage for everybody. We'll go 5Gs of coinage for everybody. I just gotta say, I thought it was phenomenal, okay? Now, a couple of different things here. I love anime, but I've never actually watched One Piece. To me, One Piece has always been that show that's like, hey, do you want to spend the next 5 years watching the same show to try to catch up to where everybody else is at? And I'm like, no. So I haven't actually, like, did that. I haven't, like, jumped into One Piece. It's just way too crazy, okay? But watching that first episode last night, and I know some of y'all might get upset when I say this, but wow, is that an incredible show. And it is way better than Ahsoka. I'm sorry, I've got to say it. I like the Ahsoka show, but the first episode of One Piece puts Ahsoka to shame. It does. It is so much more polished. The fighting is better. They literally have better fighting. It's crazy. It's like, wow, bro. So, look, I really, really enjoy the One Piece show. I'm going to binge that shit all over the weekend. I think it's great, man. And I wonder, is this the start of something different? I mean, you look at the top 2 grossing movies this year, right? You got the Barbie movie and you've got the Mario movie. And because Hollywood is so reductive, they're probably thinking, like, we need all the doll and action figure shows and movie universes that we can make. And they're looking at Mario and they're like, dude, we're going to do the video game universe. We're going to do all the Nintendo cinematic universe, right? But, and we've been talking about it for like years at this point, anime and manga are dominating the comic book industry in the West. They are crushing it right now. And one has to wonder, is this show the start of something that, just like the video game stuff, there's clearly an audience there, but there have been sort of pitfalls and sort of issues that have prevented a very good adaptation, right? So you think about like the Mario movie. You think about The Last of Us. and you've got the actual video game creators that are a part of this, that are like helping to make sure it's a proper adaptation, that it has the spirit of the thing from before. And I think it's whoever the Mario guy is, like, he was there. Like, he was there. Sonic is a good one too. But I think there's been this attempt by Hollywood to continue to try to adapt video game stuff, and it usually does not work. And I think that's because they want to just take it into a completely Hollywood direction, and they're not willing to sort of cede some of that control to the creatives that helped it be a success in the video game realm. And I'm starting to see that with anime, and I'm really interested to see how well does this show do, the One Piece show. Is this going to be one of the biggest? Because, like, dude, One Piece is huge. Like, if you don't understand how big One Piece is, like, you just don't know, bro. Like, this One Piece is huge. That is a massive, massive brand, right? So I'm really curious if this show is very successful. I wonder if it'll sort of usher in a whole new wave of like anime and manga being adapted into live action. I wonder what you guys think. How many of y'all saw that show, and what did you guys think of it? Because I know a lot of like hardcore anime people, like basically they watch live action anime adaptations and they're like, well, it wasn't animated, so fuck that. You know, like the purity tests in the anime fandom are very crazy. That shit looks so cringe. Dude, I'm telling you right now, it was a fantastic first episode. Fantastic first episode. Legitimately better than Ahsoka. Like an incredible first episode. Highly recommend it. Go check it out this weekend, man. I would recommend you go check it out this weekend. First half was cringe. Production could have been better. How? How could the production have been? I thought the production was amazing. Set design, on point. Character design, on point. Action, on point. Choreography, on point. Like, I'm literally saying, I was blown away by this show. I was blown away by this show. Where do you watch? It's on Netflix. Nah, it's just that most live action animes are trash in the CGI. Yeah. I mean, the Dragon Ball live action movie was so bad that it got Toriyama, who had basically been retired, to he basically like rose like a mummy out of the tomb and was like, fuck that. And that's like he does Battle of Gods, Fakatsu no F, and like we sort of get the resurgence of Dragon Ball. Yeah, it's pretty bad. And I know the Death Note movie, pretty bad. I haven't even seen the Full Metal Alchemist one, but like I feel, and I've been led to believe that this one's different. You know what I mean? That this one's different. Bleach live action was better. Okay, I've not seen that. You excited for the Warhammer game? Which one? Space Marine 2? I mean, I'm excited for it because I love Space Marines and I love Warhammer, but I'm gonna be real. That game does not look that great, man. Like, I just haven't seen anything in that game that's like I just don't. I don't know. It looks fun, but new Warhammer video win probably Monday, and I'm gonna try to at least do one Warhammer video every 2 weeks for you guys. Like I said, things have just been crazy though. But I'm serious. I challenge you to watch One Piece this weekend. And even knowing nothing about anime, because some of you guys, like, you don't know, it's like, whatever. I'm telling you, I think you get in there, you're going to have a good time. You're going to have a good time. Yeah. Creator was on deck for all the decisions went through him, so it's faithful. Yes, I have heard that, yeah. Mm-hmm. Some of y'all just not feeling it, huh? Some of y'all are like, nah, I'm good. Wow. I can't believe it. Guys, like, I understand that we all love our Star Wars and we love our Marvel, but this shit's sinking like the Titanic. We need to find other vessels. We need to find other vessels. And some of y'all are just like, nope. The violin homies are out there, bro. I'm telling you right now. The violin homies are out there. America's dust. Like, bro, I'm telling you, the ship is sinking. I'm trying to bring lifeboats to y'all. Okay? And some of you guys are just like, nah, dude. Warhammer's not cool. I'm like, well, you're wrong, but whatever. Anime, mangas, no, blah, 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 blah. Anime, blah. Yeah, Rebel Moon, exactly, Rebel Moon. And a bunch of you guys are like, oh, no, fucking looks silly to me. Looks silly to me. We got Ahsoka literally saying, I need fucking Sabine to be herself. But y'all think Rebel Moon looks too ridiculous? Like, what? Captains go down with the ship. Not this fucking captain. Not this captain. Okay, anyway. Let's get into Q&A. Let's go over the member chats, go over the super chats, and then we'll do some call-ins. I'd love to know what's on your mind, guys. We went over a lot of different shit today. So I'd love to know what's on your mind. Okay, let's get all the way up to the tippy. Rebel Moon will slap? Hell yeah, it will. Captain Underpants? The fuck? Benjamin says, Marrok was just revealed to be Chet. That would be a better reveal than him being a bunch of smoke. Like, that can't... no. It just... No! Nuck upgraded their membership to the prime level. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Josh Arnfeld, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now. Appreciate you, man. D Murdoch says, why you get us hype like that? R.I.P. Morrow Killer. Yeah. Look, hopefully the whole thing is wrong. Hopefully Marrok is Star Killer and all that bullshit was just smoke. We're gonna find out together. Let me ask you guys this. If you think Marrok being made of smoke is super dumb, absolute trash, totally horrible, throw a 1 into the chat. I'm just out of curiosity. What do you think about that? Don't spoil me, please. Well, we don't know for sure, so. Yeah. A lot of ones. Okay. All right. Cool. Hiron says, did you see Ezra Hot Toy? It has a new look at live action Ezra. I hope the leaks are true. I want to believe. Force Kamehameha Wave. Much love. Nerd Vengers for life. I appreciate you, brother. And yes, I have seen those, and I think that's going to be cool. I think we're in for some cool stuff with Ezra regardless. I just, can't believe that this is what is happening with Marrok. I'm in shock. Finto182 says, big love, Josh. 28 months already. Back to Kickstarter 2 at the top tier. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you. Love everything you do, brother. Keep up the amazing work. You are an inspiration. Take my money, Nerd Vengers for life. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I'm really excited about Unity. We've got so many cool things planned. I feel like I'm behind. I feel like dude, YouTube's crazy. It just takes up a lot of time to do videos and streams consistently and whatnot. And I wish I had more time to promote, but I feel like we're doing good, rounding the corner on 35K. I mean, I'd be feeling better if we were already funded and I'd be like, oh shit, yo, we're killing it. But I think a lot of people still have yet to fund the book. And I still have a lot of promoting to do. So we'll keep pushing and we'll make one big final push towards the end. And Unity has a future regardless, but we really need to nail this Kickstarter, and I think we will. So I appreciate the support, man. Thank you. Carl says, just spill the tea. Get it off your chest. Marrok was never going to be Star Killer anyway. Den of Dolls for life. Well, I did spill the tea, and I'm going to be honest with you, Carl. I'm not really feeling better. I'm not really feeling great about it. Thunder Khajiit says, how much money for the Marrok spoilers? That $1.99 will do, brother. Hiron follows up and says, if Marrok is Ezra, I'm going to be very upset. It would ruin his character arc. Kanan's sacrifice would mean less. It would kill the show for me, to be honest. Yeah, no, that would be even worse. Like, real talk, the Ezra reveal would be even worse. Like, I would be even more upset. But this is pretty close. Like, the smoke thing is like, bro, get the fuck out of here. Like, what? He's made of smoke? And you know what? When I first read it, I thought it said Snoke, actually. Okay? And I was like, dude, Snoke? And I just started, like, that would upset me too. And I was like, Snoke? The fuck? Like, that's ridiculous. And then I, like, reread it, and it said Smoke. And I was like, what? Come again? What are you working on? Eric says. What do you mean? What am I working on? What are you talking about? I'm working on the comic. I'm working on videos. I'm working on streams. I'm working on trying to not have a dad bod. Working on. Yeah, I'm working on the railroad, motherfucker. D. Murdoch says, I'm already triggered. Just rip the Band-Aid off. Okay, well, there you go. If it's Ezra, I'll rage, says Lucas Tex Venger. By the way, great to see you, man. Hope you're doing well, Tex Venger. Jedi Joe says, good morning. Happy Friday. So pleased with Ahsoka, man. The lore. You're thinking of trying Starfield? It looks pretty cool. Skyrim, Fallout vibe. If I didn't have, like, so much to do this weekend, I would love nothing more than to get Starfield and just dive in and just be completely immersed and, like, go check it out. Unfortunately, I just got so much to do. So that's not really on the table for me. I think I'll eventually try Starfield out for sure. But like I said, like, I got Baldur's Gate 3. I haven't even beat Jedi Survivor, although I'm really not feeling that. I even want to get back into Marvel Snap. Hey, all of y'all that still play Marvel Snap, how is that game right now? Because I want to get back into it, but I just haven't played in so long. How's the Snappy Snap? How's it doing over there? It's doing good? The exact same? Ooh, that's not good. Overpriced eShop? I agree with that. Your Warhammer videos are dope. Now I'm hooked on Warhammer lore. Thanks, man. I have a lot of lore videos in mind, and I'm trying to get them out. I'm trying to get them out to you, man. No, for real though. What is smoke? What do you mean? You love Jedi Survivor? That's cool, man. I'm glad you liked it. I really just wasn't feeling it. It's just not for me, but I'm glad you're liking it. Spider-Man 2 is the next great game that you're getting. That's going to be a cool game too. For show. New Snap UI for PC is sick. Oh, that's great. MTG pre-release tonight? Snap got boring. Snap did get a little boring. What's the pre-release tonight? The new Commander Legends or whatever? What's the pre-release tonight? Rosie says, like the Inquisitor in Tales of the Jedi. Exactly. Yep. Exactly that. Victor Gamora says, Marrok is Reva. Oh, Jesus. That would actually make more sense. Believe it or not. That would make more sense. D. Murdoch says, smoke greater than Reva. I mean, is it though? Jedi Mike says, 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. Oh, okay. Those are the Lost numbers. Lost was a good show. I like that show. Hiron says, it finally happened. We got Ralph Bonard in Star Wars. Yeah. Feels that way. Now, look, here's the thing. How much of this is, like, on me? How much of this is on Star Wars theory. Do we think Dave Filoni bonered us? Or did, like, me and Theory boner y'all? Like, wait. So, should we go to the polls? Let's go to the polls. Who is to blame for the Marrok smoke boner? Let's go Dave Filoni. Let's go Star Wars theory. Let's go Den of Nerds. And let's go Reddit. What say you? Sam Witwer? No, I don't think it's on Sam. I don't think you really want this poll. Brother, there's a lot I don't want in this world. There's a lot I don't want in this world. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Wait a minute. Why isn't Theory getting more? I mean, Theory made his videos way before I did. Usually all I gotta do is stand next to Theory, and all the hate just goes whoop. It's like bullets in the Wanted movie, just turning through midair. I can say the most outlandish shit. If I'm next to Star Wars Theory, everybody's gonna be hating on him and not me. What is this poll? Sheesh. Okay, right on. Thanks a lot, guys. Okay, Tobin says, W Friday, I'm on my delivery route and turned off a Kang video that auto-played that said, F, gimme Doom already. Refresh, and boom, here Josh is. Happy Friday, peeps, and drink Miller. Appreciate you, Tobin. Appreciate you, man. I've always liked Miller Lite, honestly. And Miller Latte is what I call it because it's really high-quality stuff. User link at the end of the text to see the deleted post. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Should I make a video about the smoke thing? Should I at least try to warn people? I mean, again, it could be wrong. I'd love for it to be wrong. Okay. Greet Pack says, hey, Josh, can my cat stay at the tower this weekend? Gonna have guests for dinner, and it gets kind of awkward around the 4th hour of him Frenching the old balloon knot, especially with my vegan friends. Yeah, man. No worries. Just lock them on like the lower levels. You know what I mean? Like keep them in the basement, and I think we'll be fine. So appreciate you. Kaylin says, Starkiller would have broken the internet. I will be very disappointed in Star Wars if they didn't seize this opportunity. More mid-Disney. No, I agree. I mean, like, this is going to be one of those situations, and we just talked about this on Nerd Theory recently, where people are going to be mad because they're going to say that our theory and our speculation is setting up everybody to be disappointed by the show. But again, I'm going to say what Theory said. It's not our fault that we picked the coolest thing, that we were like, oh, what if it was like the dopest possible thing that it could be? What if it was the best version of this reveal that it could be? I don't think that's on us for literally pointing something out or coming up with a concept that would have been better, would have had fans more excited, would have brought more attention to the show. And instead, they decided to make him a fart. Ahsoka vid's getting views right now. The Starkiller one did, but other than that, no. And that's another thing. Is like I've been looking around at like some of my other, contemporaries and like how they're doing with their Ahsoka videos. I mean, I don't think, man, it's a tough one because I know some of you guys are gonna get mad at this, but I don't think Ahsoka's doing well, guys. Like real talk, I do not think the show is performing well. But it still has a chance, right? It still has a chance to turn it around and do really well. But I think for me, like, I wonder how y'all feel about this. But for me, I felt like there was a lot of attention and a lot of stuff for week 1. Not in week 3. I think, or week 2, which is episode 3. I think episode 3 sort of really shows, like, we won't know the Nielsen numbers and we won't know the Samba numbers. Like, maybe they'll have the Samba numbers, next Monday or whatever. But I would actually imagine that the Samba numbers for week 3 will be even worse than they were for week 1. And if that ends up happening, like, we'll talk about it then, because I have all sorts, like, I could literally talk about Ahsoka and Star Wars and the state of everything for hours. I have so many thoughts. About it. You know what I mean? But, yeah, I don't think it's doing well. Just going to say it. That's my take, is from what I see, I don't think it's doing very well. Andrew says, how's the Unity Kickstarter going? Think you'll reach the goal? Excited to read it, man. Really hoping I get that sick-ass doll. Yeah, I think the Kickstarter is doing great. I wish that I had kind of like more time to promote, and I was pushing it a little bit more. But generally speaking, for a Kickstarter, you get like a huge influx of support. Then you kind of have some slower, like trickle in months, and then you get another big push towards the end of the campaign. So I expect we'll get another big push towards the end of the campaign. I think we'll get funded. I'd love to be funded already, and I think that part of that's probably just on me for not approaching the promotion in the right way. But you never know. Like, I know a lot of people in our community are like, I'm just waiting. I got to wait till I have more money, or I got to wait, because I know times are hard right now as well. So given everything, I think the Unity Kickstarter is doing well. You know what I mean? Like, we're right on target. I'd love to close out the weekend a little bit closer to 40,000. So then we have like just 3 weeks to get 10K, which I think is absolutely, possible. Elijah says, with a 10 spot, very generous, if I was always told to be myself, I would never struggle and grown to become the person I am today. It's anti-growth. Being a trainee by definition means you have something to learn. Oh yeah, I absolutely agree, man. That line was so weird to me. I was like, what? What are we at right now? We're like a little over 35K, I believe. So we'd have to do like a couple grand over the weekend, which I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm trying to get a push for it for next Wednesday with the action figure. I'm also going to think about like adding some items, you know what I mean? But the truth is, like, I don't really want to get like all these extra items. To me, I would love to double the amount of people that have actually supported the book. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. That's what I'd like. And as far as Elijah, yeah, dude, I totally agree with you. D Murdoch with another 10 says, LMFAO, and come on, Josh, there's a lot more than Star Wars and Marvel that isn't anime. And nah, hold up, Rebel Moon looks dope. But you don't say that. Smoke not woke. At least here's 10 spot for the Marrok Pain. Yeah. How many days left for the Kickstarter? I think 19. So we're about 3 weeks. It ends on the 20th of September. That's the end date. So Hiron says, can't wait for the watch party to see the look on Josh's face when Marrok deflates before his eyes. It'll be hilarious. Regardless, I'm taking a blinker before the episode. Yeah. I guess we're now, like, I guess that's going to be a thing now. That's going to be a thing. Right? So next week on the watch party, I went from, and maybe this is good. Maybe this is good. Because I went from being so sure that it was Starkiller, like I'm just waiting for the reveal. I even thought it might have happened like this past week, right? And it didn't end up happening. And now I've gone from wanting and hoping and seeking that reveal to basically just being like, man, are they really going to do this? Is this really going to be the way it goes? Has Star Wars gone up in smoke? That's not bad. Yo, Josh, I think I saw you at my gym yesterday. Do you go to Planet Fitness by chance? Yes, I do. And there was a dude that recognized me a couple of weeks ago at the Planet Fitness. I'm blanking on his name. I think it was Austin, maybe. But yeah. Look, I try to keep it a little low key, and I try to be in a little incognito. I mean, it's cool, like if you want to come say hi or whatever. But I'm kind of just there to work out, right? So, but yeah, I was probably there. Appreciate you. D Murdoch says this poll is facts, and all of our hearts are broken. Wait, what? This poll is facts, and all of our broken hearts. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so let's look at this. So 26% of you guys say that it's Dave Filoni's fault. 17% of you say it's Star Wars Theory's fault, which is the correct answer. 42% of you? 42% of you said it's my fault? Oh my God. And then 16% of you say it's Reddit. Oh, Jesus. Oh, jeez. Yeah, let's do a poll on who wanted Starkiller. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I'm down with that. Boom. Let's see what you guys got to say about this one. T-Rev says, according to some vids, Marrok is more wolf symbolism and a nod to the Arthurian knight who served Morgan Le Fay, with Elsbeth being a nod to Le Fay. Yeah, I've heard that, and I agree with that. I just don't know if it means anything substantively, you know? Sami says, how can Thrawn have an army of revived stormtroopers in the unknown regions if there's zero Empire presence there? Where are the dead stormtroopers from? They're from his own ships. So the way I see it is when the Purrgil took all of those Star Destroyers and all those people into the unknown galaxy, they probably all crashed and all of the stormtroopers died. And then he probably made a deal with the Night Sisters, where then the Night Sisters use the magic and they resurrect them and bring them all back. Yeah. Wow, look at that. 76% of you wanted it to be Starkiller. And again, if you'll recall the other poll, everybody agrees that it's Star Wars Theory's fault. So, yeah. Did I read your super chat? I think I might have missed it, Maria. Did it not pop up for me here? I know it was a very big super chat. How come that didn't pop up here? That is weird. It did not pop up for me. Let me see if I can find it in this chat. Why would it? What? I saw that pop up. It's kind of weird because I've heard people talk about this before. Where, like, some people's shit, like, doesn't pop up. It's like, what? Let me see here. I don't know. We want to go into here. We want to go into here. Wow, here it is right here, yeah. It's like before Tobin. Why didn't this pop up on the thing? So now I can't even trust this thing. Wow, dude. YouTube, something else. Okay. Mariana, very generous, $50 super chat, says, they despised Filoni since Clone Wars and want anything under Star Wars Disney label, even if it's good, to fail to stick it to KK. I hate Disney and KK, but these people become as bad as Disney shows. They care more about the shtick than repairing the fandom, in my opinion. Yeah, so one of the things I learned a lot, I'll kind of break this down in a couple of different ways. One of the things I learned a long time ago, because I did a stream, right, with Jeremy Griggs from Geeks and Gamers way back in the day. And I was like under the impression that one of the things we were trying to do, even though it was like a hater stream, was we were actually trying to like diffuse some of that tension and like bring the fan base back together. But like Jeremy told me in no uncertain terms that he doesn't want to do that at all. So it's absolutely the case that a lot of those people don't actually care about the Star Wars fandom, don't actually care about like Star Wars as a brand and how it's doing overall, and they don't like, yeah, I would agree in a sense that they want it to fail, okay? But here's the thing about that. I don't blame those people for where Star Wars is at. And I blame Lucasfilm and Kathy for where Star Wars is at. And I think even those people, like for instance, if some of those people had not been as aggressive as they had been, especially early days in the Disney Star Wars era. So like, have you guys ever heard the story of how Drunk 3PO became Drunk 3PO? Have you guys ever heard this story? From Jay or from me? Anybody? Anybody? He drank a lot? No, that's not what happened. So the story is that Jay was literally just on Twitter with some goofy name or whatever. Actually, it might have just been his regular name at that point. And he was talking about like Rey and something like that. It was fairly innocuous from what he explained to me. And somebody at Lucasfilm, I forget if it was Pablo or if it might have been like Brian Ward. I don't remember exactly who it was, but there was somebody who was sort of like had authority via Lucasfilm. You remember from the podcast? Who was the person that did this? I'd have to go back and watch the podcast I did with him to remember. But I want to say it was either somebody that was like kind of a brand ambassador for Disney and Lucasfilm, or it was like literally an employee of Disney and Lucasfilm. They went in and found his post, which at the time he didn't know the Geeks and Gamers people. There wasn't even a Fandom Menace. There was nothing like that. This guy quote tweets Jay, clowning on him, calling him one of those people, basically like implying that he's like sexist or racist or whatever, right? And that's how Jay gets connected with all these other people and sort of forms that group. And like a lot of those people were getting, like, they were having their image disparaged by like actual high-level Lucasfilm people. Okay? So if that hadn't happened, and again, like, dude, this had like 3 likes on it or something. Like Jay was literally nobody. I mean, low key, Jay's still nobody, but like, you get what I'm saying. Like, Jay was nobody, and they created that, right? So like, we wouldn't even have a Fandom Menace if a bunch of fucking uptight Lucasfilm people hadn't been total assholes to people that just weren't feeling Star Wars at that time. So like, I agree that some of that stuff's out of pocket, and I don't agree with a lot of the takes that I hear from that side, but I can't blame those people for where we are at now. And by the way, as somebody who has experienced that at a sort of different level, you know, the James Gunn thing. James Gunn dunked on me on Twitter, and it got like millions of impressions. Okay? And I had, for months, I had James Gunn dick riders in my comments, my replies, in my streams, you know, just trying to further that shit, right? And I mean, I think it's completely normal to, in that situation, to be like, oh, well, guess what? Fuck that guy and fuck all those people, right? And I don't know if you've noticed, but I've gone a little hard on DC since that happened. Has anybody noticed? Well, I mean, what do you think? I think I've probably been fair, but I think it's also fair to say I have gone pretty hard on them. So when you start to like break it down like that, you got to look past and further than these people are haters and they want Disney to fail. It's like, oh, no. You're right. You're absolutely right. But I would argue it's still Lucasfilm's fault. It's still Disney's fault, because to this fucking day, they've never come out and given some kind of boilerplate like all you would have to say is, you know, guys, recently there have been some tense discussions online happening with regards to the new Star Wars stuff. We love all Star Wars fans, and we're trying to create Star Wars content for everybody. We don't want to, you know, we don't want any particular kind of Star Wars fan to feel like they're not welcome in the new canon, etc., etc. Like just some kind of boilerplate, like, we're not doing that. And instead, you had the opposite. For years, you had the opposite. You've got J.J. Abrams on Stephen Colbert just literally saying they don't like that Han Solo gave the Falcon to a girl. So Disney fanned those flames. Disney is responsible for the position they find themselves in now. And on top of that, I really like Ahsoka, and I really like Dave Filoni. But I can see all sorts of flaws with Ahsoka. And so I can't even blame some people for like being upset and for wanting it to fail. Like, why do you think they want it to fail? You know what I mean? So it's a difficult thing because like, and I find myself in the position where, I mean, when I started the Den of Nerds, right? The whole idea was I'm a huge nerd. I love Marvel. I love Star Wars. Star Wars and Marvel are bigger than they've ever been, which at the time was true. And I was like, let's make content and let's form a community based around the idea that I love this stuff. We want to experience it together and we want to be positive. And a lot of people say, like, I've changed, you know? And a lot of people say, like, I've gone to the dark side, whatever. And to a degree, they're right. But I feel like I'm like the canary in the coal mine. Where it's like, if you guys lose me, if you're losing someone like me, wow. Like that should be a huge red flag for them. You know what I mean? So I understand where you're at, Mariana. I too get frustrated with some of the criticisms that are levied against Star Wars and Dave and all that sort of stuff. But I also understand why we're here. And I don't blame people like Jay or Jeremy or, you know, any of these people. I don't really blame them. It is ultimately Lucasfilm's fault for not addressing this issue sooner, and for just not pivoting correctly. You know what I mean? And in 2 years from now, we're going to look back, and I think we'll be shocked at the turnaround that Marvel was able to make. I truly still believe that. But I'm just not sure when you look at Star Wars. You know? And I find myself in a specific spot with Ahsoka where I really, like I said, I really enjoy it. I also think it's just not the show that's going to save Star Wars. Like, there's just no way. Like, it is a slow, there's fundamental elements of the show that are not good. It is not a polished show. It is leaving itself open for all sorts of criticism. So I don't think Ahsoka is the show that's going to save Star Wars unless it gets radically better very quickly. So that's sort of my full thoughts on it, man. That's sort of my full thoughts on it, you know? Okay, is there any other chats in here? Did I miss anything else? Quick question. The new galaxy that Thrawn is in can't be the unknown regions, right? It is not the unknown regions. However, I mean, it's possible that the way the unknown regions were referenced in the past canon is still attributable to this new galaxy. Do you know what I mean? Let's see here. Montana says, quick question. Oh, no, I just went over that. John Hicks says with a $20 holla, says it's difficult getting on board with Harnet without knowing whose cast is Reed. Not the worst pick, though. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate the 20 spot. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, imagine, like, and like, for real, like, I don't understand, bro. I don't understand why Doom isn't have a bigger role. I love Dr. Doom. I'll get you, Jacob. I'll get you, bro. I like him as Doom, but it's frankly hard to get excited about Doom just in general. You know what I mean? Because it's like, what are they doing with that character? What do you mean he's not going to have a big role in Secret Wars? You know, et cetera, right? Maxwell says, recently had the idea that Marrok might be Kanan in some sort of cyborg Night Witch resurrection. Don't think he will be Starkiller, unfortunately. I don't think he'll be Starkiller either, unfortunately. Sabine looks like Ezra Miller. Really? I don't know about that. So let's see here. I missed Jacob. Jacob says, MCU and Star Wars are in a never-ending relay race of trash. Your turn. No, your turn. I love Ahsoka, though, but Smoke Monster? Nah, bro. Scooby-Doo villain. Yeah, it's a little silly, huh? It is a little silly. It's a little silly, guys. Like, am I crazy or is it a little silly? Okay, now, let's shift gears. Let's pause this music. I'm going to open up a stage on Discord. And we're going to do some call-ins, man. I want to know. I want to hear from you, Nerdvengers. I want to hear from you. And let's see what y'all got to say. I'm going to do 4 of them. I'm going to do 4 of them today. 4 call-ins. Okay. First in today. Wait, hang on. Let me adjust some shite here. On the Nerdventure hotline. We got to come up with like a corny little intro on this. You want to call, you want to talk to Josh on the Nerdventures hotline. Hotline. What do you think? Thoughts, chat? I'm bringing somebody on with an S name that I can't read because this thing's not showing me the full name. So what's up with that?
Hey, what's up, man? Skywalker crew.
Skywalker crew. What's going on, man? It just shows me an S.
That's weird. No, pretty good, man. So that's really gonna happen with Marrok, isn't it? Like, is that pretty like accurate? Like,
oh man, I look here. I think it is probably just because it's like I feel like the universe is just fucking with me. You know what I mean? So like, dude, I kind of feel like it's true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm having a hard time believing that was Dave. I just feel like Kathy was like, "Nah, you're doing this."
But didn't Dave do that in Tales of the Jedi?
True. I guess it's just so bizarre, bro. Because like Starkiller would have been so fucking dope.
Yeah. So I mean. Yeah, no, I get you, man. It feels like a slam dunk. It feels like the obvious move. And it's still possible that they bring Starkiller in, but to me, the thing that made it so perfect was not only do you get Starkiller, but you also have this new galaxy where he can actually like get some of the powers and some of the abilities that he had in the game, right? So I'm like, bro, like how is this not what you're doing?
Dude, it was a slam dunk. I mean, it made the most sense. And then also, have you heard anything else on like the new Beyond? I know you were talking about that like before the show came out.
I haven't heard anything new. It's just I think that is going to be what it is, right? And so I think, you're going to get out there and there's going to be a lot of like, magic and force. I still think the big theory that I have about like the Rakatan and some of those things with like the Vong, I think that is still in play. So I think Dave is gonna definitely do some crazy stuff with that galaxy, and I'm really excited for it. But I haven't necessarily heard anything new. And the other thing that's kind of interesting is like,
cool.
We haven't really gotten any leaks. Like there have been no real new leaks since like over a year ago. You know what I mean? So I wonder, like, I think at this point, usually Jason would drop something if he had it and like tease out a little bit more of what's coming. But it's been kind of weird, huh?
Yeah, it has been, bro. And I've seen somebody, I don't know if you did or mentioned it in chat. Is She-Hulk really getting another season?
Yeah, I think it is. Here's the thing. I think Marvel, and this like, I have a lot of thoughts on this, but I think Marvel needs, from their perspective, they need She-Hulk in the Kang Dynasty. And they probably realize, and I think they probably realize that people hated She-Hulk.
Right.
And so they're literally going to do a second season that's going to rehabilitate her image. And I'll say this for you and for the chat, and I'm putting this on record right now. The only way that fans are going to embrace the She-Hulk character is if they play with the idea of her knowing that everybody hated her because of her first season. It's the only way out. If they could use the fourth wall breaking shit and basically just hold the L, they've got to hold the L. They've got to hold the L and be like, well, here we go, season 2, because everybody hated that first shit. You know what I mean? Like something like that. That's
actually not bad, Josh. Like they should do something like that. And then, so I'm not really an anime person. So like, is One Piece worth checking out? Because like the whole live action to anime, that doesn't really bother me.
Yeah. I'd say the first episode's an hour. Give it like 20 minutes and see how you feel. I was blown away.
Really?
I was blown away. The character, like the thing I really liked about it, especially because I don't even know these characters, the introduction of all the characters, like the main his main crew, brilliant. The action, unbelievable. It's a weird show. Like it's absolutely weird. Like do you know about Luffy's powers?
Briefly, man. One Piece is so long. I never bothered to try to deep dive.
He's made of rubber, basically. Like that's what, like his whole body stretches. Okay, yeah, that's why he stretches. And they explain that, and they explain. It's really weird, but I really like it, man. I was like, this is really cool. So I'm excited to binge it all later.
Yeah, I'm thinking about checking it out. You said it was better than Ahsoka, so I'm like, we'll see.
It's I definitely think it's better than Ahsoka. It's one of those shows, and this actually it sucks because I actually wish that Ahsoka was to this level of quality, because I think One Piece is one of the shows where like you might not like it, you might not dig everything in it, it might not be your cup of tea, but you cannot deny that it's like incredibly polished. Like it is so polished, and I think from the visuals, the performances, the music, the sound. The choreography. Like I sat there and I was like, I was asking Elisa as we were watching, I was like, who did the stunt choreography in this shit? Because it's like that good, where I was like, I want the stunt coordinator to be working on stuff that I really, really love. You know what I mean? So
yeah, man, that sounds cool. So hey, before I hop out of here, dude, anything on like Skeleton Crew, or are we even getting that this year?
I doubt it. Just because from what I heard, that production was very messy, and
oh boy,
yeah, and also very rushed, and then the strikes happened. Do you know what I mean?
Damn it, Lucasfilm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and like, dude, like I've heard horror stories about that production, frankly. So not to say that they can't figure it out. I mean, there have been bad productions in the past, but yeah, I don't see that happening. I think the closest show is probably The Acolyte. So, depending on how long the strikes persist or whatever, you could be looking at Acolyte next year at some time. But yeah.
Well, heck yeah, man! Thanks for having me on. We still having the Nerd Avengers meetup, because I'm definitely gonna try.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it that Saturday night. I will be there. I just have to coordinate some stuff with Ryan and figure out where we're gonna do this thing at. And so I will be there. We'll crack a few beers, crack a few jokes, and have some pizza or whatever. It'll be cool.
Heck yeah! All right. Well, thanks, Josh.
Appreciate you, brother.
See you later, bro.
Yep. Thanks, man.
All right.
Take you out of here. Okay. All right. Let's get Kendall on here. I feel like Kendall's got a few things to say. Kendo.
You damn right I got a few things to say, John. What's going on, man?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Just, it's been funny. Like, there's just been so much going on. I'm going to, like, there's a part, because I saw some comments in chat where they're like, because I don't know. Do you think I'm a little more, or I guess less hyped about Ahsoka today? Does it feel like I'm a little down on the show?
Yeah, I mean, to be real, I mean, there's no way that you can be as hype as you thought you were going to be based on what we got so far. Like,
yeah, I agree with that. 100%. Yeah.
Like, and dude, I was telling you, like, it looks cool. Like, before, like, the actual show came out, and, like, I was looking at the trailers, it's just something that's holding it back. Like, I don't know if it's, like, the way it's shot or the pay. It just felt like something's holding it back, and it still feels like it. But, I mean, I don't think anything's going to save Star Wars other than a movie at this point. I mean, even, like, you can have a great show like Mandalore. That didn't save Star Wars. It's going to take a movie. Unless they can get somewhere where they can really go hard and not be feeling constricted to like what Disney Plus wants to be like, if you would, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it just feels very Disney Plus-ified.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And then that's the issue.
Yeah, I agree with you there. It's just like, for me, I've had so much going on, between like Unity and, family stuff and just, doing a lot. So it's almost been like, I almost feel like today was the first time I got to kind of, or even last night was like, stop treading water and kind of like take a look at it all, and it's like I'm not trying to be doom and gloom with it, but the more I think about Ahsoka and the more I just kind of look out there, I'm like, man, this is not doing what I thought it would do.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's kind of tough because I know a lot of the Star Wars fans are loving it, and I get it, and I'm glad that we have this thing, and I know Theory really loves, and I feel great about that because, like, what it's like when, one of your homies like is really into it, or maybe they got a sports team, right? And you're just watching them take L after L, and then like they got a good run, or they go into the playoffs or something, and they get excited. I'm happy for him, and I'm excited for the Star Wars fans. But like, I've been sort of cursed with the inability to like hide my true feelings, And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, ooh. And then this Marrok thing, I'm like, ooh. And
it's just like that right now, bro. I mean, even like down to like the Marvel stuff, like, I'd be making my shorts and stuff. And dude, people who comment are just really over it. And it's like, yeah, you still got people who like it, you still got people who subscribe and stuff like that, so there's back. But it's just like a lot of people are over it. And it gets, when you have a whole bunch of other stuff going on, like you said, you find like kind of other interests in the meantime, it gets a little bit harder to maintain that hype. So like, for that show to not be a 10 out of 10 like banger the way it should have been, it makes sense why your hype doesn't feel the way it does in that manner. But it doesn't mean you don't like it. Like, you can still like it. It's just that it just doesn't like bring you in and engage you the way you kind of probably thought it would.
And there was like just one more thing on that. It was like after the first 2 episodes, like I went back and I rewatched them, right? I didn't rewatch episode 3, and I honestly have very little desire to. Even though I liked it, even though I gave it an 8 out of 10, and I thought the ending of it was phenomenal, there's still like not enough to get me to like try to actually watch it again. And frankly, like I don't want to sit through the beginning half of that episode again. And it's like, damn, like that's kind of a bitch slap of truth. You know what I mean? That's kind of like a hard thing to kind of admit, but that's where it's at for me. And I'm like, damn, like how much of this is like, I don't know. Like you said, like we're in a weird time, even with Marvel and everything. And it's like, how do you, continue to, soldier on and be excited about the thing? And yet you got to acknowledge at some level, things are very different. And the lack of quality is like, we are feeling that so hard right now. And it's a fascinating time, man. And I like when it comes to Marvel, like when's the next Marvel thing, besides Loki, I think Loki season 2, I'm excited for, but I don't even have the same level of anticipation that I used to have for that show. But when it comes to the Marvels, when it comes to Echo, and when it comes to the potential of another like big delay into next year, because if the strikes kind of persist, I mean, dude, Marvel might go through. Like, I feel like these next 6 months for Marvel could be devastating. You know what I mean? So I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I don't think like the Marvels in itself, bro. It's an issue. I mean, the one thing that's going to save it is the like spoiler warning, whatever. But like the incursions, like that's going to be the one thing that would save it. But other than that, like I don't even think that's enough to make people interested to go see it.
Yeah.
I'm not really concerned about Echo because people don't even watch the good shows. Well, the decent shows. So I'm not even really concerned about Echo being bad because as long as they don't say it's coming out, nobody's going to know it's out there. Because nobody goes on Disney. Like, it's that bad that nobody, I don't even really think, has Disney Plus in their habit to get on the app and go look for stuff to watch. So I mean, that's like, I just don't think Echo is going to be that much of a problem. But you know, I think we're safe as long as we can get to some good shit. Like everything, if they slow down and we can get to some good stuff, then I think we can be safe. Maybe Captain America, but definitely if we get a Deadpool, I think we could be safe. But you know, just where we're at right now, I don't think Loki is going to be. He's going to like be that kind of saving the MCU moment, if you will, right? Like I don't think Loki, even though it could be a great show, I just don't think it'll be enough to get us back to where we want to be, man.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that because I think like Loki 1 was like we're kind of like still learning what the Disney Plus shows could be, and I think there was still a lot of like that leftover buzz and hype from Endgame and stuff still, and so the fans were just at a completely different point, right? Like I think if you drop WandaVision today, I think that show gets shit on. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah, dude, because like nothing fucking happens until, you know what I mean? Until like way later. And then a lot of that stuff that they set up goes nowhere. Like we don't want to admit it, but like a lot of WandaVision threads literally go nowhere, you know? Now they might be like tying that up in like Agatha and all this other stuff, but like, dude, the show, it was not a satisfying like actual show experience, and the threads go nowhere. So like I think at the time like WandaVision just got a lot of love because it was interesting, it was new, and we all were looking at all the connections to how it fit into everything. And then Loki had a lot of that too, where I think Loki gets a lot of love and shine from just where the Marvel fan base was at. And that is so far the opposite now because like I don't think Secret Invasion was that bad of a show. Like to the degree that people were shitting on that show and got really triggered by that show is like, I don't think it deserves that.
Dude,
but that's where we're at.
Either. Well, I mean, like it was bad, but like when I go back and look at that finale, like because I went back to like grab like a shot for like the scroll fight, like the scroll fight when you look at it outside the context of the show, is kind of like pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Like even the way like she kind of does the end move like on Gravik, like I think that was maybe like one of the better shots of the show. But yeah, like dude, the only thing that I would kind of leave on this point, the only thing that I can really latch on to being excited for right now is the leaks, and it's like a funny time that we're at. But like it just seems like every time we get a good leak, like you get a boost. Like, you know, I do shorts and reels, and like the shorts are very, if you think like regular videos are very analytical when it comes to like the algorithm and stuff, shorts are like that on steroids. So like if Marvel is going through like, you know, if it's a slow time for Marvel, the shorts like are going to be down. But like if it's like a leak or something like exciting, like those things are going to pop, and like they can pop from like 2 months ago. So like the Deadpool leaks that came out, the whole stuff around Wanda and Doctor Strange and it looking like the Molecule Man stuff that came out, that got people excited, bro.
Yeah.
So, dude, I just had this one thing when kind of throw it at you just to see what you think. Like, do you think they're kind of building up Wanda and Doctor Strange? Like I kind of mentioned before, but like Wanda and Doctor Strange coming up, like I feel like in Multiverse of Madness, they're building that kind of conflict that they built with Tony Stark and Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
And to the point to where, that conversation they had in the field, like as small as it felt, it was kind of like, how do you get to make these break these rules, but I don't?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna throw it out there, early prediction, that we're not gonna get Doctor Doom because they're building up Wanda to take Doctor Doom's spot. And I'm like just throwing it out there that we're gonna see that whole thing go down at the end of Secret Wars to create Battle World, where you have Wanda, Doctor Strange, and Kang the Conqueror outside of the universe, ready to trap the Beyonder power, whatever it is that they're doing at the end of that scene there, and they're going to create Battle World. That's like my favorite. I'm hoping for that, and we get to get Battle World in the scene where like Doctor Strange is saying, "Wanda, you're right. Like, create this, save the universe," and like she just merges the multiverse in together. And, we get to get our Battle World phase. But I just want to throw that kind of fun theory out there to you. Let's see what you think. But I gotta get out of here because I just had to pick my daughter up. So
yeah, no worries. Yeah, thanks, brother. I'll get you out of. I'll touch on that for a little bit. So I think that could be cool. Like, I like the idea of Doctor Strange and Wanda, kind of being this sort of driving force for, a lot of the conflict. I guess my problem is these characters are not really going to be, as far as I understand it, they're not really going to be active in the MCU, like on 616. So, like, Marvel that we know is now in the Witches Road dimension, and Doctor Strange is now in the Dark dimension. So, like, they're not even involved. Like, here, bro, there are some real fundamental things that are wacky about what Marvel is trying to do right now. So, like, we all know that Secret Wars is the big draw, and Secret Wars is going to be the big one. But Secret Wars is Tobey Maguire, Robert Downey Jr., Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, and others. But that's the main draw, is like those characters together, okay? But none of those characters, I guess, aside from Hugh Jackman and I guess Tobey, technically, via what might be happening with Spider-Man 4 and even, via Spider-Man No Way Home, those characters are not actually, like, doing anything in the main MCU. So it almost feels like Kang Dynasty is the lame duck movie. Like, why do we even need Kang Dynasty? Why do we need the current street-bound or actual Avengers to get whooped on by Kang variants in the prelude to Secret Wars? Like, why do we even need that? That doesn't, like, I don't know about that. That doesn't even make sense, And frankly, like, who's going to care? Like, I feel like most people just care about the Downey Jr. and the Tobey and all that sort of stuff. So, like, what are we doing here? And as far as, like, Doctor Strange and Wanda, how does Doctor Strange and Wanda fit in to doing that big nostalgia grab of, like, Tobey, Hugh, RDJ, I would say Chris Evans, Cap, like, doing that? Like, because it almost feels like counterintuitive to it. And when it comes to Wanda, like, I'm just not sure. Like, they clearly have a lot of ideas with Wanda, but, according to Charles Murphy, they don't even know what they're doing with that character. So if Wanda's not in Deadpool 3, which it seems like she's not, which is a whole nother thing, because, like, I was like, oh, I think she's going to be in it. Oh, no, I don't think she's going to be in it. Now I think she's going to be in it, but she's probably not going to be in it. What is the plan with Wanda? Well, they might not have one, dude. You know what I mean? I think they're setting up Kang versus Stephen Strange, which makes a lot of sense. But I don't know if they have any idea what to do with Wanda. You know what I mean? Which is kind of unfortunate. All right, let's get chilling in here. And I'm going to do one more. Chilling.
What is happening?
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm good, man. Like, honestly, I feel good. I also kind of feel like, we're on the Titanic and it's going down. But I feel like good. I guess I feel like as good as you can, right? Yeah, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. My grandson is going to be turning 1 on the 21st. That's going to be exciting.
That'll be great. Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah. All right. So, first thing,
hit me.
Chat. Throw ones in the chat if you're sick of news coming out of Disney that always makes you say, "What the fuck?" Yeah. Yeah. I think most of us are that. By the way,
I didn't even go as hard on Disney as I could this week. I mean, their stock price is in the toilet. There is a third lawsuit about them fudging numbers for Disney Plus. I mean, it is like pandemonium over there. You know what I mean? So like, I haven't even gone as hard on them as I probably could have.
Oh, that's all right. I'll take over for you tomorrow night. But
Uh-oh. Are you still there? You might be breaking up, brother.
I'm on Wi-Fi. What the crap?
Oh, the Wi-Fi, bro.
All right. Well, now it's full bars. Can you hear me?
I got you. Go ahead.
Cool. And so yeah, between that, this what the fuck She-Hulk season 2 crap, I don't even understand why that. I mean, unless it leads to World War Hulk, there's no point.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the only justification for that series that I can personally come up with.
Well,
Marrok is smoke.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
Really? If that's real, I am gonna have to shred the shit out of Dave. I'm sorry, it's gonna have to happen because that might be the dumbest thing he has ever done.
Yeah, it might be
literally.
No, yeah, I think it might be. Yeah,
it's just crazy. But on the plus side, I know this is going to sound weird, but I actually find that the runtime of Captain Marvel could actually be a good thing.
Yes,
because
I agree with that.
I don't remember if it was My Time or Toast, but in one of their tweets talking about the short run time, and I did get on My Time for putting down it could be a disaster. It's like, are you nuts? That can only be beneficial. One of them said that most of the cuts came from that musical scene.
Yes, I would agree. Yeah.
So that can only benefit the movie. Honestly, I don't know how much.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if it'd be enough to make everyone go, holy shit, the Marvels. But it might enable us to go less hard on it, if nothing else.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably fair. And at the end of the day, like, if people are just going to check out the incursion scene and to check out the post-credit scenes, which could be, I mean, like, some people scoff at that, but, like, we literally had Tom Hardy in Venom 2 basically make that the marketing strategy for Venom, and it kind of worked. You know what I mean? Like, they literally just were like, yeah, but there's a dope post-credit scene. You know what I mean? So that's like a legitimate strategy. So if that's what they're doing with the Marvels, and they streamline it and they cut everything, that could work. You know what I mean? Like, that could absolutely work. The question is, like, is that going to be a satisfying experience? Does it feel like homework? Does it turn the brand around? And it's like, again, there's a lot of stuff going on that's like, there's just a lot of baggage at this point. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
Totally. Well, I mean, there's absolutely no way the Marvels is going to be any kind of turnaround point. I feel like the Marvels, forget what the box office is, I feel like the Marvels would be a success if it doesn't make things worse.
Sure. Yeah. I'd agree with that. Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with that. You know, but it's kind of interesting because I think, like, one of the issues with Marvel is that, and they did this to themselves, but like fans are basically parsing out what is must-watch material and what's material that they can absolutely skip. And it's just pretty obvious that there's a lot of stuff right now that you can skip. Even Quantumania, which is said to like establish Kang, like, bro, people figured that shit out quick. Like, that had a massive drop-off in week 2, and people were basically like, I don't really need to see that. And you know what? Fuck them, because like I broke down a post-credit scenes like a month before that movie came out, and like that video did really well, and like so you can go out and find the information, like, and it's a little bit on Marvel because they need to make stuff that doesn't just feel like homework and that doesn't just have like injected plot points. It needs to also feel like satisfying and good. There's flashes of brilliance in Quantumania. Like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but there are flashes of brilliance. Like Kang's performance, Michelle Pfeiffer's performance was really good. But there's so much goobly glob, and it is literally one of the worst edited movies I've ever seen. It's an embarrassment. They should not have released that film. It is an embarrassment. So basically, dude, that's where fans are at. Is they're like, well, I should probably check out this. I don't have to check this out. And that is so different. That is literally the antithesis of what it was like before, where we all went to go see Captain Marvel because we're like, bro, like, I want to know about the Infinity Stones and shit and like Thanos and like everything. Like, we were so invested in the overarching story that we'd go check stuff out just to get more info on that story. Whereas right now, like, what is the story? You know, like what are the MacGuffins? Like, what do we even need to know about, right? So it feels pretty disjointed, to be honest. Yeah.
I just hope that, because obviously the bracelets are going to end up being one kind of MacGuffin. I just hope they set that up at least fairly well in the movie, along with those incursion scenes.
I hope so too, man. I hope so too, and I'm going to give it a fair shake. You know, I can't speak for everybody, but I'm going to give it a fair shake. I always do. So we'll see. Maybe it'll surprise me. You know.
Yeah. Oh, I'm hoping to walk into the theater and then come out surprised for sure. I mean, like, just this year is so weird. Like, the two biggest movies are Barbie and Super Mario Brothers, and then fucking Oppenheimer. I'm not sure if it cracked 900 milli, but it's right around there.
It's on the way. I think it's like 850.
Yeah, for a 3-hour biopic.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Like,
it's wild, right?
Just the fact that those three movies' success should be a big old blinking neon sign to Hollywood. Like, bro, if you don't give us quality, you can fuck right off.
Yes, I agree.
That's not just, our stuff. That's like every studio. Doesn't matter what they're making. Comic book movies, fantasy movies, biopics, mysteries, dramas.
But here's the thing.
horror.
There are, and I agree with you, but there are examples of really high quality movies that didn't perform this year. So like the Mission Impossible movie, I thought Mission Impossible was amazing and it just didn't do it. I thought Dungeons and Dragons was phenomenal and it bombed. You know what I mean? So it's not a 1-to-1, like quality doesn't always equal box office. I think there's like other factors, but
oh yeah, for sure.
You know,
feel
there's
like
definitely
the odds.
Yeah, no, it's like I want to believe that. I just don't know if I do. I think it's more like you've got to make it meaningful. You know what I mean? And like it has to be like almost an experience, right? Because you look at some of these really big movies, like Barbie's not, like I haven't seen it, right? So I can't speak to it in that sense. But I know a lot of people went because it's an experience. They wanted to dress up. They wanted to dress in pink. They wanted to take the pictures by the, the poster. They wanted to, and it's like the Minions movie. Remember when the Minions movie, when all those TikTokers were showing up in suits and watching the Minions movie, and that movie made like a fucking $1 billion? So like,
I mean, Star Wars used to be like that. You used to have all the cosplayers showing up outside the theater in their stormtrooper outfits and their Jedi outfits, having fucking plastic lightsaber fights.
Yep.
The hype used to be so real.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And now we have this.
Yeah, dude, I know. And it's been it's been a challenging year for us. You know what I mean? Like imagine being like me and like literally you founded your channels around the idea of like trying to be positive and being like excited about the stuff. And I feel like Disney specifically has botched their golden gooses. Like they're bludgeoning these golden gooses, like right in front of us, to the degree that it's like, damn, bro, like y'all have put me in a tough spot. You know what I mean? So
they're using baseball bat while they're at it.
I know, it's crazy, dude. Yeah, it's been it's been tough, man. Like I said, I still have faith. I have faith in both of them, but I also like have to call it the way I see it. And Ahsoka is not doing that right now. It is not the show we needed, which is like, that's like, I know some people will get really butthurt when I say that, but I think it's obvious. I think it is obvious. It is not the show we needed.
No.
It
I
could
totally
become
agree with
that
that.
show.
I mean, it's good.
Yeah,
it's good, but it could be great. And it's not great.
It should be.
I'd even say really good.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I'd even say it's really good. Like I have less of a problem with some of the slower beginnings because I saw what Dave was setting up. But I understand people that gripe about it for sure.
Yeah.
Because that's just my own thing when it came to that. But there's already been a couple wasted opportunities here and there. And oh my God, if this Marrok rumor is true. Forget how dumb an idea that is. Just it's such a wasted opportunity.
Yes, that's the big one. It's a wasted opportunity. Yeah.
Like you could inject some dope ass Legends character, i.e., Star Killer. I mean, for the love of fuck, it could be the clone of Jorah Sabaoth, since it's Thrawn. You know?
Yeah, there's
Just
so
for
many
whatever
cool
reason
things.
he-
Yeah.
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 But
I mean,
don't know. We'll have to
at
wait
the end
and
of the
see.
day, at the end of the day, we're gonna have to just see what it is, because it is possible it's presented in such a way that's like, I think what it's meant to do, like from his perspective, right? I think it's meant to actually be shocking in the sense where you're like, oh shit, like these witches and this magic and whatever's going on out here is way crazier than we thought. You know what I mean? And I think like that's the way you try to set that up. But I don't think it's gonna land. You know what I mean? And I think it's going to end up being silly. And some of that, is definitely on the fandoms. It's on the fandom. But like, dude, the same fandom, and I would say me as a fan, I existed the same exact way in Mando season 2. And yet all of that kind of stuff felt like it was happening. It felt like, oh no, this character's gonna pop up, this character's gonna pop up. People thought I was crazy. And it was like, no, because that's like what Dave does. That's what he wants to do. And I don't think it's crazy to think Dave would do something like that, and like tease that out and do that and bring the EU stuff in. So I just think it's probably the wrong time to do something like that. And it's not even necessarily a gotcha on his part, but it is kind of like a wasted opportunity, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I was thinking around about the same thing. Like, okay, if they're gonna make Marrok some kind of smoke critter in armor,
yeah.
Like whatever process resulted in him, we need to see, and it needs to slap, because otherwise it'll just be dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
And you know what? And and especially if that happens in this episode, it doesn't matter how. I don't think it's going to matter to a lot of people how dope we think the last 4 are going to be, because we're all pretty well. Probably most of us in this community are pretty sure 5 through 8 are going to slap.
Yes. Yeah.
But no one's going to watch them if they reveal the smoke, at least in this episode. If they remove the mask and show them all floofy this week, they done fucked themselves.
I know, bro. I know. Right when they needed to like pick it up too. So we'll see how they respond. But anyways, brother, I'm gonna let you out here. I appreciate the call, man, and I appreciate you hanging with me through these dark times.
Well, I mean, I'm basically right there with you. Not to be like a kiss ass or anything, but that's what I found in my. I mean, look at my channel name, Chilling in the Basement. I just wanted to talk about fun stuff in a calm way. Yeah. And Disney is not letting me, nor is Sony, nor is Warner. Like, it's a conspiracy to fuck with the YouTubers.
I know, right? They just got mad because we were making money off of them. But the ironic part is like the haters or the detractors.
Thank you.
Seen a few. Oh, that's the right one to say it? It's not retractors?
Yes, that's the right one. No, it's detractors.
I was trying to do it purposely wrong to trigger you. But anyway, they're actually loving it. They're making more money than ever. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like some of the
I know exactly what you mean.
Like, I feel like some of the fans. You know how Babe Ruth used to come out and like point and be like, "That's where it's going," and like he would knock it out, not just knock it out of the park, but knock it out at that spot. I feel like some of the Phantom Menace people were like, "Here's what it is," and then like Disney just threw them a freaking fastball right down the middle, and they just cracked it out of the park. And it's like, it's kind of on Disney, dude. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, like whoever takes over Lucasfilm after Kathleen finally like leaves or dies in the office or whatever the fuck she's gonna do. Whoever does, first of all, good luck. But the first thing they need to do before they even worry about the content is replace the entire PR department.
I agree with that, 100%. Yeah, you need a cultural uprooting of that. Yeah,
it needs to be a complete 180 on the culture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Otherwise, it won't matter what they put out because they'll still have an ultra divided fandom. There will be no reason for the fandom to even begin to unite at that point.
I agree. All right, brother. I'm going to get you out of here. I appreciate you.
I blabbed my way into 3 more minutes. My bad. Sorry,
That's all good. All right. Take care, man. See you, brother. All right. Let's bring in Revan Rec. And this will be the last call in for today. And I feel bad. Who was the S person? Because like you were in here waiting, but then you like disappeared on me. Revan.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello, how are you? Yep, I got you, man. Got you loud and clear.
Perfect. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Despite everything, I'm still feeling good, feeling optimistic. And at the end of the day, like, we'll go through these dark times together. You know what I mean?
I hear you. I'm really digging the Ahsoka show so far. They could make some better choices here and there. I have very minor gripes like that. The Bean biker scene was just god awful. I felt like that music pulled me out so hard. It was ridiculous.
It was an interesting choice, you know? And like the thing is, I feel like Dave's got to know. Like I feel like he's got to know that scene with that music was like kind of a risk or whatever. But yeah, I like Ahsoka as well. I think Ahsoka is literally the best Star Wars show yet, and yet I still have all kinds of issues with it, and I'm like, ooh, you know?
I can agree with that wholeheartedly. I just don't know what goes through some of these executives' minds when shit like that pops up. Like,
yeah,
genuinely, what are you thinking? Oh,
yeah.
People give crap about the Cantina band, this, that, and the other. Well, that at least sounds like space music.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah. It reminded me of the second episode of Vision Season 1, where they have the, what was it, the Tatooine Rhapsody or whatever? And you go from like one of the best, you go from like one of the best, coolest Star Wars things I've ever seen to being like, what is this? And they're doing like ska punk in front of Jabba. So yeah, it was a little weird.
Yeah, I can't. After coming on the internet today and seeing you talking about the Marrok rumors, how are you gonna? I'm not gonna lie. I was trolling you in your poll. I voted for the Den of Nerds, but no, that wholeheartedly falls on Dave Filoni. If I'm being 100% honest, dude.
Yeah.
Like, how are you gonna sit there and drop hints like that? You're gonna make the armor look so similar. You're gonna make him even sound exactly like the dark version of Star Killer. Like, you're gonna have Sam Witwer in the freaking credits. You're just having all these signs pointing at it. And the other thing I've seen out there I think's really stupid is if he turns out to be Ezra, I'll riot.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that would be horrible. That would be absolutely horrible if that's the direction they took it in. But yeah, no, I don't really see them doing that. I think he at least has the sense to not do that. So
yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I'm holding out hope. I mean, like I said, I'm really enjoying it. I have very minor gripes. Honestly, Fandom needed this, but sadly the numbers aren't showing it.
Yeah. And we'll see how it goes. I mean, there's still a scenario in which, you know, the show does some really crazy things and get that, because that episode 5 is going to be fire. You know, that's supposed to be the Anakin episode, and I think it's going to be crazy. And the back half of the show is probably going to be really, really awesome. But they didn't have to, like, here's the thing that I keep coming back to is like, I'm in it, I like it. But they didn't have to have a 2-part season where they don't even get into the dope shit until episode 5. Like, frankly, that did not have to happen, you know? Well, I think it's because Dave had originally, and Dave is just like a sort of more stubborn, slow burn. Like, he's going to tell the story his way, which I respect. I respect that. But I also think you got to understand where modern audiences are at and where the fandom is at. And I think it's because when he was writing this as an animated sequel to Rebels, he wasn't even going to get to Ezra and Thrawn until season 2. So he was going to do a whole first season, which if like you think about Bad Batch, you think about some of these other shows, like he does that. He does slow burn, you know? And so he wasn't even going to do it until season 2. So basically what we're seeing with this Ahsoka show is the first 4 episodes are Dave's original first season, and the back half of it is his original second season.
Yeah. I honestly find it baffling that we haven't even saw like the back shot of Thrawn's head yet. Like,
I know. Yeah.
Oh, and before I lose my train of thought, I've been wanting to bring this up for like a long time.
Hit me.
So, what episode was that? I think whatever episode where Ahsoka addresses Thrawn coming back to be heir to the Empire, that she dropped the heir to the Empire hint.
Yes.
That's when I decided to actually go read that entire trilogy.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my God, we got shit on by Lucasfilm.
I know.
And then even after that, there's duology.
Mm-hmm.
I have so many Star Wars books in my brain. I gotta pull up the name here.
And that's where all the
Spectres
Vong
of-
kind of stuff
Spectre of
comes
the
in, right?
Past. Yeah, Spectre of the Past and Visions of the Future, where
Yep.
it's even after where they bring in like a Thrawn clone. Dude, those stories were so interesting. Like
Yes.
that
yes.
is all those books together equate to hours, like days worth of listening.
Yeah, and you know what?
Where,
It's funny.
where did they go wrong?
Well, you know what? I've been thinking a lot about this too, and I'm gonna have to name drop Warhammer again for everybody in the chat. But let me just explain. Like, so Warhammer is known for having like the craziest, most expansive lore, right? And that's because there was some stuff that's like put in the rule books, but for the actual canon, they literally just handed it over to incredible novelists. So these incredible novelists, just like Timothy Zahn, took that and wrote a damn good story. Like there's no like media agenda. There's no like all these different factors that I think are unfortunately weighing on all of the productions for Disney and Star Wars right now. None of that shit was a concern for Timothy Zahn. Timothy Zahn's only concern was telling a compelling story that engaged the reader and carried on the legacy of what George Lucas had. And so he was just able to tell dope-ass stories. And that's the same way it is in Warhammer. Like, Warhammer's crazy because it's just fucking incredible novelists, like, taking this stuff and telling stories. And I actually would put forth that even in the early Disney days, there were incredible stories being told. Like, I think Claudia Gray and a lot of the stuff she's done in the books. There were a lot of different books. Like, they even had one done by, like, the Catalyst novel, written by James Luceno. Bro, that shit is amazing. So, like, you have incredible just storytellers and writers that didn't have all these different considerations that you have if you're making a actual Disney produced live action show or animated show or whatever, right? So I think that's part of the problem, man, is like novelists and writers, like they're storytellers. And the thing that's interesting about a novel is like you can't rely on, you know, flashy images. You can't rely on cool action sequences.
If you listen to an audiobook.
Like you live and die by the prose and the story that you're telling via the words on the page. So I would have.
They could
I
totally
almost wish.
benefit.
Yeah, I just
putting people like Timothy Zahn and Claudia Gray in writing rooms with people like Dave Filoni. Like the stories would be incredible. I tried reading, or rather listening to the newer Thrawn trilogy before I started listening to Heir to the Empire, and I just couldn't. But now I'm giving that first Thrawn book a go again, and I'm actually really enjoying it.
Yeah,
it's been a lot of fun so far.
Yeah, same. That was sort of back in the heyday of Star Wars, and I remember I had such a great experience with that book because I drove 18 hours straight from Philadelphia to Orlando to be a part of Star Wars Celebration in 2014, and I just listened to that Thrawn book on the way down, and it was incredible. Like, and I finished the book on the way down, and that was just a different time then because we had not seen a lot of this stuff. You know, TFA and Rogue One had just come out, but we hadn't seen The Last Jedi, and there was just this sense that a lot of the stuff we were reading in comics or we were reading in these books was like gonna have a very big impact and be really awesome. Back then, man, you were like living off of those vibes, and I felt like the Canon Thrawn book, although he's different, was really cool. You know what I mean? And it's just we are very far away from that. You know.
I don't know, man. I don't. The only thing I can say is I pray that they actually one day pull their head out of their asses and take a good look at all this lore. Like, I am a good 15 books of Star Wars in my brain. Like, I have a whole bunch of Star Wars lore. There's so many stories to be told.
Yep.
It just baffles me. They're very boneheaded.
Yeah, and you know what? My sort of approach to this, and this is like, you know, I've tried to sort of cultivate this attitude of, you know, like I don't want to just become like a hater channel, or I don't want to just make my content hating on it. But I think that as fans of this stuff and as people that want it to get better, we have to find a way to sort of communicate the honest takes and the thoughts that we have out there, because the studio should be able to like listen and respond to that, particularly when it comes to Marvel. I actually do think they respond fairly well. This has happened in the past. Marvel had a very shaky start to phase 2, and they sort of like recalibrate, and then we get some really great shit after that. So I have a lot of faith that like Marvel can make it. They can adjust. When it comes to Star Wars and Lucasfilm, like Kathy should have just been gone so long ago, and now it's gotten to the point where like it almost does not matter. Like, and I've seen this take from a lot of people that have been cheering for Kathy to be gone forever. It almost doesn't matter. Like, she's literally almost burned every ounce of goodwill down to the floor, to where even if she leaves, I just really don't see it. It's difficult, but I feel like Dave could be that guy. But like, dude, he needs to understand.
I don't think he wants to be that guy. That's the problem.
Know if he's
he's not. I don't think he does.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Like, he doesn't really care. I think, frankly, like, I don't think he cares as much about how successful Star Wars is. I think he cares more that he's going to continue George's legacy whenever he gets the chance to talk about Star Wars or make Star Wars. Like, I legitimately don't think that guy cares or thinks about the brand, stock price, etc. Like, I don't think he cares about that at all, which is why, by the way, he would actually not be a good person to replace Kathy. Like, he's not that guy. But he is simultaneously the only person over there that I think truly gets what Star Wars is. So it's a tough spot, man. But I just kind of want to, like, for me, it's like, we need to be able to be critical, have these conversations, appreciate the low points for what they are, but also keep hope and you know, want it to truly get better. I think that's what sort of separates us. Yeah, for sure. I agree.
What it's been from day one, holding hope.
Yep.
George has taught us there's always hope, you know, and even though it seems hopeless, there's always hope. I don't know.
I agree.
Keep praying.
Yeah, man. Same. All right, brother. Well, I really appreciate the call. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Have a good one, boss.
You too, man. You too. All right, I'm going to get out of this stage here, guys. I appreciate everybody that came. I always like doing those call-ins. It's always good to hear from you guys and kind of just get a vibe and kind of hear out some of the stuff that you guys have to say about this. So thank you very much for that. Let's finish off some of the super chats and some of the last-minute stuff, and then we'll get on out of here, man, okay? Let's see here. Get into the bottom here. Let's see here. Where's the shit? Quick question. The new galaxy that Thrawn is in, can it be the unknown? Oh, we already addressed that. Recently had the idea Marrok might be Kanan. We talked about that. Juke Skywalker says, sending some good vibes to the Nerd Squad. I'll be throwing money at Unity this weekend. #yay. I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much, man. Thank you. Thank you for, like, seriously, Unity for me is like, in the wake of all this bullcrap and all the stuff that we're talking about with, like, you know, the brand degradation and Disney and all this stuff. Unity's like my chance to start something and like stay true to what it is. Listen to the fans. Give them exciting, hyped up stuff. Don't Ralph Boner them. Don't Marrok like fucking smoke monster them. Treat them with respect. Give them what they want and give them what they didn't realize they wanted. Like, this feels to me like my opportunity to, like, not just complain about this, not just be sitting in the troves of like, oh fuck, this is a really bad situation for Disney, but like to create my own thing that I think I can shepherd way better than these corporate overlords have been shepherding this stuff that we love. You know what I mean? So I appreciate each and every one of you that are helping to make that a reality. So thank you very much for that. Dooley says with a $20 holla, hey Josh, just wanted to thank you for all you do. Been a member for almost 3 years now. I sadly lost my mom a couple of weeks ago after a long illness. Your streams and community have really helped me out during this time. Much love. Well, Dooley, I appreciate you, man. First of all, thank you so much for the support. Also, my heart is with you. I cannot imagine the pain that I will endure when I have to say goodbye to my mom. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I've got an incredible mom. I think most people probably feel like they do. The only difference is I have the best mom. Y'all got maybe some okay moms, right? So I cannot imagine that pain, but I'm absolutely sure that you guys shared a lot, that you, brother, were a light and a spark in the darkness that life can sometimes be. You know, sometimes I'm struggling or I'm having a tough day or whatever, and I just look at Liam and he just smiles, or he's going crazy, or he's doing this, that, second, and the third. And it is the juice of life, man. It is a light in the darkness that brings me joy I cannot express properly with words. And I know that you were that for your mom. And, God bless you. And, that's a tough one, brother. That's a tough one, man. Jedi Jen, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Dooley, thanks for the 5 memberships as well. Parker Peter says, Josh, don't let a smoke monster get you down. Ahsoka is the tits, pun intended. Star Wars is back, baby. I am excited about the show, but I'm also just trying to be realistic, man. I don't feel it the way I wanted to be feeling it right now. The Snoke thing is going to get me down, but I tell you, the smoke thing does not even get me down as much as kind of just seeing how the show's performing. It's kind of like a bummer, you know what I mean? But I appreciate you trying to bring my spirits up. And then Chillin finishes up with Unity, and I appreciate that. I surely do, man. Thank you, everybody. Let's kick it in the chat for just a little bit, and then we're gonna get on out of here. Let me get something pulled up real quick while we're doing that. Bow, wow, wow. I just need to do a thing real quick. Bow, wow, wow. Okay. Okay, guys. I just released the big old theory video. You guys have seen me talk about it on stream. It's the holy shit Dave Filoni theory. I'm going to tweet about it. Go watch the video, but more importantly, share that video out. If you think it's as cool as I think it is, share that video out. I'm going to tweet about it right now. If you could help boost the tweet, that would be incredible. Appreciate you. Here's the big old video about how Dave Filoni might be doing something that will truly save Star Wars. This will blow your freaking mind. Video here. Boom. Boom. Fucking I'll just do that one. Boom. Go check it out. Go spread that video around. Garth Knight says, any news on Rian Johnson trilogy, and will the smoke guy be in it? Well, Garth, no, I haven't heard anything about the Rian Johnson trilogy, which is probably for the best. Yeah, I don't think the smoke guy will be in it either. Did you read my member chat and maybe you missed it? Tyler, let me double check, but I think so. Tyler says, I am so happy with Ahsoka. Oh, yeah. I read this. Yeah, we're doing the NYCC meetup. It'll be that Saturday night. I am not 100% sure on the location and whatnot yet, so might need to figure that out. But yeah, no, I like Ahsoka. I know this is like one of those things, but I like the show. I'm very happy with the show. But I'm a little bummed that it's not performing better. I'm a little bummed that some of the choices the show has made, I don't think are going to, like, they're not going to get people really excited. Which is like, ooh, you know? Thanks. Sorry I missed you reading it. No worries, man. Josh, I need more Warhammer in my life. I got a video. The other video will drop on Monday, and I'm going to work on writing some more of those videos this weekend so that we can have even more Warhammer videos for sure. Last weekend, I was like playing Warhammer all weekend. It was my buddy's birthday, and that's what he wanted to do, and I was very happy to oblige him. So, yeah, we had a good time last week. I think Marrok is just going to die, and that's it. Yeah, no, probably, yeah. Probably, yeah. With Charles Murphy saying he's scared for Fantastic Four, does that make you nervous? Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely makes me nervous, yeah. Brian says, do you think fans that didn't watch Rebels might be having a hard time enjoying Ahsoka? Thanks for trying to lead us to the lifeboats. Yeah, no, I do. I do think that is an issue. Which is so funny because, like Dave said, he's like, it's actually a 1-2 issue. And by the way, I am not trying to shit on Ahsoka because I feel like if we keep going down this road, it's going to end up sounding like I'm shitting on Ahsoka, okay? But here's what's ironic about that. I think it's actually a twofold error, okay? Are you ready? It's a double-edged sword. Number one, first edge of the sword. If you didn't watch Rebels, there's a lot of this stuff that probably is meaningless or you're not going to be as excited about it, okay? But if you did watch Rebels, you might find yourself upset that these characters are almost nothing like they were in Rebels. So what I'm kind of saying is, it almost doesn't matter. You're either upset because you don't know shit about Rebels and a lot of this stuff seems pointless, or you love Rebels and you're upset because these characters are nothing like what they were in Rebels. That's maybe my biggest issue with the show, to be honest. Like, I'm going to say something incredibly controversial. If this show, by the end of it, has not reignited the flame of passion within the fandom, I think it might be time for Star Wars to take a long break and come back with a completely new creative team. You know what I mean? So that's asking too much. What, for them to reignite the flame of the passion of the fan base? You think that's asking too much? Do you guys agree? Do you think I'm asking too much? A long break like Mando season 3 so we can get Lizzo again? Yeah, like, okay, but here's the thing. Like, that's hilarious and funny, but here's the reality of the situation. Lizzo's brand is in a very bad spot as well. Like, real talk, Lizzo's, like, losing everything. Like, shit is completely falling apart for her. And she has the opportunity to maybe go away for a while and make some kind of a comeback. It's actually really similar with Star Wars. Like, let me take it a step further, okay? And I really want you to lean in. Really want you to lean in with this one. Kenobi is the banana that Kathleen Kennedy forced us all to eat. And we didn't like it. We didn't like it. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. The good news is I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. Videos coming at you today, over the weekend. Stream with Valiant Renegade on Sunday. We're back on Monday, and we're back on Monday for Nerd Theory, and then we're back on Tuesday for an Ahsoka watch party where you guys will get to do a live reaction of me losing my fucking shit when we find out about the smoke bullshit Marrok thing. I'm not going anywhere. And yea, though we walk through this valley of the shadow of Disney, I shall fear no evil. But it's because the Nerd Vengers are with me. Yeah, man. Happy Hogan says, what would be the worst if Marrok was revealed to be Starkiller or if he turns to smoke? Yeah, the smoke one. The smoke one. The smoke one is. All right, everybody. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Shit. Here we go again. Super Doomsword. Do we think Marrok's helmet fits Dathomiri horns? No, I don't. I don't think so. Guess what, guys? I think we are doing the best that we can. I didn't go tell FEIGE to fuck this up. I didn't tell Kathleen Kennedy to keep all this shit dumb as hell. And neither did you, unless you did. And then, what the fuck, bro? So let's just keep on keeping on. Like watchers on the wall, we wait for a better sunrise. And Tylen, I appreciate the 20, man. I can't confirm anything, but I don't think it's Starkiller. I think it's literally just a smoke monster. So... Okay, anybody, open up your third eye and wash out your stinky butt. I'll see you later.